I'm curious what happens when you and the scientists sort of disagree about design decisions and what those conversations are like.
That's a great question. No surprise. Munji Buendi was working with nanocrystals,
Okay.
for which he got a Nobel Prize, by the way. He asked me to photograph the vials that contain the nanocrystals. Each vial had nanocrystals of different size, so they fluoresce at different wavelengths.
So beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Good design decision.
Guess what?
What?
He didn't like it.
Oh no!
But I ask my kids when I give a talk, show me where the camera is in relation to the vials.
Okay.
So most of them get it right. The vials are laying down on a surface,
Okay.
and the camera is from above. And how do we know that? Because of the air bubbles. And I specifically photographed it that way because I brought in what I thought was an interesting, not informational, but interesting design decision. Munji didn't like it. He asked me to shoot straight on, which we're going to see next, I think. And that is a highly documentary image of the vial. Again, we're looking at vials that contain nanocrystals at different sizes.
Yes.
And that's what got on the cover of JPhys Chem, and that's what he wanted. I yield to the researcher. However, the image that he has hanging up in his office is my first image.
Is it?
So there you go. There's
Oh, interesting.
yeah, but I get it. I overdid it.
I want to shift gears and ask kind of, I don't know, a question everybody wants to know these days, and that's like, will AI, negate the need for science photography? Why don't we just type in a little prompt? We don't need scanners.
So I have been worried
Yeah.
that I will become irrelevant, and so I wrote to an editor there that I've had some correspondence with, and I told her I'd like to try to write an article about this. And she said, well, let's make it a little less personal.
Okay.
And just think about whether you want to write about how AI is affecting photography.
Yeah.
So it was a great opportunity for me because, when you have to write something, you have to know what in the world you want to write.
Yes. That's the challenge of it.
It's indeed a challenge. And what I decided to do was to take an image that I've made and ask the model to make the image. So you will recognize that this is an image we just saw. I asked, create a photo of Munji Buendi's nanocrystals in vials against a black background, fluorescing at different wavelengths depending on their size when excited with UV light. So that's a pretty complicated prompt.
Yes, it is. Let's see what it did.
There we go.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Pretty ridiculous.
Totally cartoon-like,
Yeah.
totally wrong.
Yeah.
You have multicolors in each vial, but the very interesting thing for me, now remember, I use the word nanocrystals.
Yes.
The model found another word for nanocrystals. They found quantum dots,
Okay.
and that's where the dots come from.
Okay.
So that was the first try, and I wasn't that worried
About your job after
about
this?
so far. Yeah, right. But I decided to try again with the identical prompt only about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
6 months later.
Oh, boy. That's
It's
pretty close.
It's scaringly close.
Yeah.
And what it's telling me is that you're in trouble. I mean, in the sense of I could do just almost as good as you could do.
Wow.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
We must never, ever say that a photograph is documentary if we used AI. We have to say, if in fact somebody wanted to submit this, they had to say this is an explanatory image.
Yes, because this is not documenting the photons.
This is not the thing.
This is not the thing. This is a generated image of the concept of the
That
thing.
is exactly right. This is done with data from out there
Right.
that they collected and decided the model made this from that data, and it's possible the data was one of my images.
Clearly.
I think so.
Yeah.
The answer to what are we going to do about this is to just make a distinction between a documentary photograph or SEM or image versus an explanatory image or an illustration. Whether that's going to happen or not, I cannot tell you. I have no idea. I mean, I'd like to think that the research community will follow the guidelines that every journal will set up. Each journal is now starting to ask these questions.
I see. That's good.
Yeah, it is. But you know, I don't know where it will head. But I think that we have to be very clear when something is submitted to a journal, and then of course the question is, what do we do when it's submitted to a magazine or online? How are we going to say to the viewer, this is a real thing, and this has been mucked around with or AI generated?
Right.
I don't have an answer for it, but we have to talk about this.